Governor Kathy Hochul has made it very clear that she's a devoted fan of the Buffalo Bills ever since she took office. She's done this by sharing images of herself attending games and making off-the-cuff allusions to the team in her public speeches. However, the most important backing for the Bills from Ms. Hochul has come from months of covert discussions with the team's owners over the construction of a stadium that cost $1.4 billion. The conversations are a reflection of both the governor's wish to keep the team in Western New York during an election year, as well as the state's very favorable fiscal outlook. And instead of the expected shortfalls of billions of dollars, New York is already swimming in federal cash. The provision of a substantial government subsidy to a sports team, which is subject to the approval of state legislators, is nevertheless anticipated to generate criticism from opponents, who will surely describe the arrangement as a waste of money. But how will this project be financed? According to two sources who are familiar with the details of the potential agreement, which has not yet been finalized, it's anticipated that the new stadium will be financed with up to $1 billion in public funds. These funds will come from a combination of the state of New York and Erie County, the county in which Buffalo is located. They stated that the remaining building expenditures would be covered by a loan from the NFL, as well as funds from the owners of the team. In a statement, New York Governor Kathy Hochul reassures the people of the state that the return on their investment in the economic operations of the team will be realized. Moreover, the state predicted in a press statement that the direct income, sales, and use taxes received during the course of the new stadium's 30-year lease would amount to a total of $1.6 billion. However, that's not to suggest that the state of New York was pleased with all of this, or that it feared being attacked for investing a significant portion of the greatest public expenditure in the annals of history in a new NFL stadium. But anyway, what did other officials have to say about the agreement? In a similar vein, the county executive Mark Poloncarz of cash-strapped Erie County boasted of having fought hard to protect taxpayers from future $7 million operating and capital payments to the Bills. However, he conveniently omitted to mention in his tweets that those same taxpayers will contribute $250 million to construction costs. According to Poloncarz, as part of the agreement, Erie County would eventually hand over control of Highmark Stadium, which is the current home of the Buffalo Bills, as well as the team offices, practice areas, and adjacent parking lots that are owned by the county. This would be done so that the state could build a new stadium for the Bills. And as she mentioned on Twitter, even if there are a lot of particulars that need to be worked out, taking this first step was really important. As a condition of the deal, the Bills would immediately begin the design and construction of an open-air grass-field stadium with a capacity of about 62,000 seats directly across Abbott Road from Highmark Stadium. And the Bills have committed to playing all of their home games at that stadium for the next 3 decades. But wait a minute, how did they settle on the location? The decision not to build a stadium in the downtown area was made after the government conducted an analysis and found that construction challenges would have added an additional $350 million to the total cost. And despite the fact that a dome-shaped stadium was not chosen, previous reports from Buffalo indicated that 80% of the seats would be covered by a partial roof with a 4-sided overhang. This design may have been inspired by the previous Texas stadium in Arlington, which was home to the Dallas Cowboys. The bills also include provisions for recruiting members of local trade unions that are affiliated with the building industry. The good thing is that this construction project is the largest one of its kind in the history of Western New York, and that it might result in the creation of about 10,000 jobs. And by the way, after the current lease agreements expire in July 2023, all parties will negotiate a bridge lease and NRA that will bind the Bills to continue playing home games at Highmark Stadium until the new stadium's ready for use. Currently, the new stadium will be owned by the Erie County Stadium Corporation, a publicly listed subsidiary of the state, and will be leased to the Buffalo Bills Football Club. The ECSC will also lease the Bills' corporate headquarters and practice fields to the team. So, on the other side, what does the agreement state? The language of the new NRA's contract was not immediately available for viewing. However, it is anticipated that this agreement will be just as stringent as the one that was signed by all parties in 2013. According to what was said by the state, both the county and the state have the ability to initiate a lawsuit in order to enforce the requirements of the new NRA should the Bills ever default on them. But who, though, stands to benefit the most from the new stadium? Well, it will most definitely be the most loyal fans of the Buffalo Bills, both in Western New York and among the tens of thousands of people living in Central Ontario who buy tickets to home games and season passes from the other side of the Niagara River. Nevertheless, the state of New York's financial contributions to the Buffalo Bills Stadium is not the first instance of public funding going toward a privately owned sports arena, and it's possible that it may not be the last. Anyway, what are your views on the construction of the stadium? At the end of it, will it be worth it?